Silence often wins arguments before words begin. You are in a meeting and someone questions your decision in front of others. You look at them and say nothing. You keep your posture still and your face neutral. The observable behavior is intentional silence after a public challenge. The effect is that attention shifts away from your answer and onto their challenge. In practice, this means the person who spoke now feels responsible for filling the gap. You can recognize it when they start explaining what they meant or soften their tone. The room stops watching you and starts watching them. Silence transfers pressure instantly. A salesperson presents an offer and waits for your reaction. You read the document slowly and say nothing. You do not nod or comment. The observable behavior is delayed response after an offer is made. The effect is that the other person begins to doubt the value of their own proposal. This is done by forcing them to interpret silence as dissatisfaction. You can recognize it when they add extras or justify the price without being asked. They are negotiating against themselves. Silence rewrites leverage. Someone makes a passive remark that undermines you. It is subtle and designed to test boundaries. You look at them calmly and remain silent. The observable behavior is non-response to a low-level status provocation. The effect is that the comment loses weight because it receives no validation. This shows up when they repeat it louder or disguise it as humor. You can recognize it when others glance between you waiting for a reaction. No reaction labels the move as weak. Silence denies status exchange. During a negotiation, the other side pushes urgency. They say they need an answer now. You pause and let the moment stretch. The observable behavior is silence under time pressure. The effect is that urgency reverses and exposes who actually needs the deal. In practice, this means the one who can wait controls the frame. You can recognize it when they start explaining consequences that never existed. Waiting dismantles false deadlines. Time pressure collapses in silence. A colleague looks to you to rescue a mistake. They pause mid-sentence, hoping you will step in. You stay silent. The observable behavior is withholding verbal rescue during exposure. The effect is that responsibility stays where it belongs. This is done by allowing discomfort to remain unresolved. You can recognize it when they correct themselves quickly and avoid eye contact. People adjust behavior around silent authority. Silence enforces competence. Someone asks for agreement after making a point. They stop talking and wait for you. You remain silent longer than expected. The observable behavior is delayed affirmation. The effect is that they question their own position before you ever speak. This shows up when they add qualifiers or retreat from certainty. You can recognize it when confidence drains mid-sentence. Silence destabilizes certainty. Approval withheld creates doubt. A person tries to bait you into defending yourself. They imply you owe an explanation. You do not answer immediately. The observable behavior is refusal to justify on demand. The effect is that power shifts away from the challenger. In practice, this means silence rejects their authority to interrogate you. You can recognize it when they escalate emotionally to regain control. Defense invites domination. Silence blocks the game. After a tense discussion, you end the interaction. You do not soften the ending. You let silence close the exchange. The observable behavior is silent exit without emotional repair. The effect is that unresolved tension stays with the other person. This is done by denying closure that would reduce their internal pressure. You can recognize it when they reach out later to reset tone. They want relief from the silence. Silence extends influence beyond presence. Someone delivers a long explanation and waits for approval. You hold eye contact and remain silent. The observable behavior is sustained silence after disclosure. The effect is that they replay what they said and search for flaws. This shows up when they correct themselves or add unnecessary detail. You can recognize it when their voice lowers and pace changes. Silence turns observers inward. They pressure themselves. The conversation ends and nothing is clarified. No reassurance is given. No final words arrive. The observable behavior is silence left unresolved. The effect is continued psychological occupation after interaction. In practice, this means the pressure continues without you present. You can recognize it when they revisit the moment later in their mind. Silence does not end when you leave.